What's up, guys? First things first, I want to say Happy New Year's to everyone out there. Hopefully you guys had a fun and safe New Year's. And yeah, I think it's about time I kind of give you guys a more in-depth, I guess, more just in-depth of my thoughts of why I sold the Jeep Wrangler and why I purchased this Dodge Challenger RT. But yeah, without further ado, let's jump right into the video. And then also, really quickly, guys, let me know if I start doing, or if we start doing stuff to my fiance's Jeep Compass. Would you guys be interested in seeing some more videos on this vehicle? Yeah, let me know. I do have a couple things in mind that I would love to do. I just have to get my fiance on board with it to kind of do it. But yeah, let me know, would you guys want to see any type of videos on the Jeep Compass? Okay, right, so just like the title says, this is kind of me telling you guys why I sold the Jeep Wrangler and bought this. Things first is I wanted something different. I wanted something completely different. Mostly because I know I kind of touched on it before in some of my other videos, but I didn't want to be tied down just to be doing one thing. I don't know, I feel like life is too short to really just kind of like, not settle, but to limit yourself to just doing one thing because you've done it before in the past, if that makes sense. So you should just do that same thing, or take that same mentality all the way through all elements through life. Don't just do one thing because that's what you know. You know, branch out, experience different experiences, do different stuff. You know, if people didn't do different things, like we wouldn't have a different variety of different options out there if people just stuck to doing one thing. So honestly, I wanted to do something a little bit different. I loved my time with the Jeep Wrangler. Honestly, it was a dream come true. I had so much fun with it. But at the end of the day, I think it was time for me to just kind of move on and do something different. But that's not to say that I didn't have fun. I loved it. You know, I said this, you know, just so many times in my other videos. I love taking the doors off. I love taking the roof off. I love driving in the summer. I loved, man, just going to like the beach and just going out doing adventurous stuff, putting the Huskies in the back, and just, it was a blast. It really was. I really had a lot of fun with it. But, you know, it was time for me to move on to something different. So yeah, so that's the first thing I want to say. It was just time. Now, the second thing, or I guess the second category, is going to be kind of the commuting category, because yes, that was my daily driver, and this vehicle is my daily driver as well. First is the miles per gallon. In that, I was hitting around 15. Well, yeah, like 14.7 to like 15. And then if I was doing just strictly highway, it was like 15 and a half. If I was really trying, maybe I can get 16. I remember the one time we took a trip out to like an amusement park, and like I was like, I want to see what the best fuel economy I can get. It was mostly highway, mostly like back roads where, but you weren't stopping. I think I got like 16 and a half, and I was super happy with that. Yeah, I do a lot of driving, and when you're getting like 14 to like 15 miles per gallon everywhere, that adds up pretty fast in just gas expenses. And that's, you know, not even doing anything extra, you know, not even putting money into doing mods or anything like that. That's just pure gas. And it's not even so much of, you know, spending the extra money, because when it comes out to it, you know, it's a couple extra bucks, even though a couple extra bucks, still a couple extra bucks. You don't want to pay that if you don't have to. But it was my time of stopping at gas pumps. It felt like I was stopping like more and more and more. And then, you know, the gas tank was bigger. So, you know, when you stop to fill it completely up, it takes more time. It was just starting to become more and more of just like, this is taking a lot of time just to put gas in this vehicle. And then I'm burning gas because I'm doing a lot of driving. So sometimes, you know, we would take my fiance's car, if it was both of us and we were doing, you know, errands and stuff like that. I would take her car, gets better fuel economy. That was just starting to add up. I'm just driving back and forth from work, especially when that was when I was at my other job, and I was driving all the way like, it was just a lot, you know. It really was a lot, and then just being stuck in traffic, I was just burning gas. So yeah, that's something that you don't really think about, but in reality, gas costs money, and yeah, no one wants to spend that extra money when it's just purely on gas. Now, I can't really fault the Jeep Wrangler for that, because it wasn't really meant to be, you know, like a highway cruiser or anything like that. But for me personally, the gas, it was starting to add up, and that was one of the major reasons why I was contributing. Well, wasn't a major, but that was one of the reasons why, you know, it kind of shifted me to move towards something different completely. Talking about the commuting aspect, the other thing that I wanted to do with that vehicle was doing a lot more of like long haul, like traveling and doing like overlanding and stuff like that. The other thing that I started to realize, well, I didn't start to realize, it just started to become more and more of an issue, more and more just prevalent, was that the fact that it was really, really loud inside there. I had the soft top, I did have the wind bar on there, not the wind bar, the light bar on there. Yeah, it sounded like a wind bar. And, you know, the bigger tires and stuff like that. And just, it was just really loud. And like, I didn't really realize it when I'm by myself, because, you know, I have the music going or a podcast or whatever just on. I'm just by myself. But when it's me with like other people, I started to realize, you know, especially on the highway, it was so loud, we couldn't talk at all. Like literally I would have to speak like this to try to talk to my passenger. Yeah, you see what I mean? It got really loud. And taking that on long hauls, it just became exhausting. And also I was starting to realize taking that back and forth from work, especially when I was taking the highway, and like sometimes my, you know, drive back home was almost like an hour. It was kind of loud. And, you know, don't get me wrong, it's fun, but that does get old, you know, after a while, when you can't even like have a moment of peace, and it's just, you just hear wind and just hear stuff rattling and stuff like that. It was just really loud. If I didn't mention that, it was a 2010 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited Sport. So yeah, I couldn't really blame the Jeep for that, but it was just an older vehicle and it was just loud, and it was never really meant to be, you know, like a soft cushiony car. You know, I can't blame the Jeep, but over, you know, a long period of time, it started to wear on me with that aspect. And the other thing was with the interior. The interior, it was dated, to say the very least. You know, when I bought that Jeep, I did want that interior. I wanted it either from the 2007 through 2010 interior, because it was more rugged, a little bit more durable. You know, you can take the doors and roof off, and like it can rain and it'll be fine. Even though with the newer ones, you know, especially with the newer JKs and now with the JLs, actually, I don't really know with the JL exactly what the durability is, but with the newer JKs from 2011 all the way through, you know, 17 or 18, whenever they started making the JLs, you know, those interiors are still very good. You know, they can get wet as well, but I wanted that older interior, the 2007 through 2010, because I wanted something that it looked a little more rugged, looked a while of driving that every single day. And like I said before, being in it sometimes like an hour on my way home, it got kind of dated really fast. You know, I did kind of miss having the creature comforts of like a newer car. And oh yeah, if I didn't mention, in that vehicle I didn't have power windows or power locks or anything like that, so I had to literally physically unlock the door with a key and roll down the windows and stuff like that. And just over time, it started to wear on me. You know, when you don't have power windows or power locks, that kind of sucks, especially when, you know, you bring people with you, you gotta open up their door, and like it just became a hassle. But I kind of want something with a much better interior, something that I could take on long haul like road trips and wouldn't get tired after like the first like hour. You know, I did do some upgrades to the interior, but really like the next step for me, like what I was going to do was going to swap out the seats and then put in a new radio. But overall though, I started to look at it like, well, this is still a 10-year-old, well, it's going to be 10, it was a 2010, so like 9-year-old vehicle now. It is what it is. No matter what upgrades that you do, it's going to be, you know, at the end of the day, underneath all the upgrades, it is still what it is. And that kind of brings me into like another point. In order for me to do anything else to kind of like bring it to the next level, I have to spend a lot more money, you know, put more money into the vehicle, which at the time I was willing to do. But when I started to look at it, I was thinking, well, this vehicle had over 100,000 miles, like 120,000 miles it was at, give or take. And like I said, it was 2010. Didn't have the power locks, power windows, didn't have alarm system, didn't have a nice sound system, didn't have the nice seats, didn't have anything. And also my Jeep was a 2-wheel drive Jeep. It wasn't a 4-wheel drive. It was a 2-wheel drive. So that's another major factor there. But yeah, even if I were to do other stuff, like I was going to do a lift and put a roof rack on the Jeep, I was realizing that a lot of those other problems that I was having were still going to be prevalent. They were still going to be there. It was just, I would have dressed it up a little bit nicer. But at the end of the day, it still would have been, you know, a fairly older Fiat Chrysler vehicle. And I was thinking, do I want to spend this much money on this, or should I just cut my losses and just move on? Kind of my thinking with that process. And then the other thing, which obviously I didn't really have to buy a Challenger, but the other thing was the power aspect. Now, those older JKs had the 3.8 liter V6. It was underpowered. It was like 205 horsepower, so like to the wheels, who knows what it was making, maybe like 150, 160, who knows. It was a big, heavy vehicle. The thing was slow. That was fine. But the thing is, though, there was multiple times where I almost got rear-ended being on the highway. Driving on the highway, you know, I was in the right-hand lane, and I remember there was cars merging in. This is a 2-lane highway. Cars were, actually this was on my way home from work. 2-lane highway, just driving down. I was in the right-hand lane, you know, faster traffic was passing. I was just driving normal. There was a car trying to merge onto the highway. I slowed down because I was like, okay, this guy, he was going pretty fast. I was like, okay, I'll just slow down and let him pass because he's going to go faster than me, you know. Forgot what he was in. He was in some type of pickup. This guy, he slows down because he sees me. He thinks that I'm going to pass. Or I don't know what he thought. He was slowing down. I think he was afraid to merge. So literally the guy's like riding on my side. I'm like, guy, are you going to get in? Are you going to get in? Finally, he tries to like get in at like the last minute. So I had to get over into the left-hand lane. And literally when I get into the left-hand lane, I'm like flooring it. Because I could see in my rearview mirror, cars are coming up behind me really fast. So I'm just straight up just flooring it. Just like, please God, let this Jeep move. Yeah. And needless to say, cars behind me, they had to slam on their brakes to not hit me. And while I'm like just straight up flooring it and trying to go as fast as I possibly can so I can pass the guy that just got in, so I can get back over. If the guy would have just got in, it would have made things so much more simpler. But I don't know. So that's happened to me a couple times where like even if I have to merge and I have to just floor it, just kind of like get up and going. You know, after a while, that started to get kind of old. And, you know, obviously I didn't have to buy a Challenger or didn't buy anything like that. You know, in like a normal spec car, like even my fiance's Jeep Compass felt so much more torqueier and peppier than my Jeep Wrangler. And, you know, that thing had like 150 horsepower or something like that, but it's just so much lighter. Yeah. So honestly, you know, that vehicle after a while, it just started to feel so underpowered, if that made sense. And when you kind of add it up, it felt so underpowered and so bad on fuel economy, it didn't really make that much sense. And it was just the older engine. And I really wasn't anything I could really do to that engine to make it better. You could supercharge it, but why? At that point, it's like, why would you? It would be better to buying a newer Jeep, buying the 3.8 liter, or the 3.6 liter Pentastar engine. You know, that would have been a better platform to build off of. You know, it didn't really make much sense. I really couldn't get anything else out of that other Jeep. And that was kind of one of the major reasons why I kind of like shifted away from it. But yeah, so with all those things in mind, that was one of the major reasons why I kind of shifted away from the Jeep and I bought the Dodge Challenger. You know, the Challenger, like I said, I think in my other video why I bought this vehicle, it kind of checked off all the marks that I really wanted. I want something different, completely different. You know, and I do consider myself to still be a truck and Jeep guy, but I guess I'm more at heart, more a car guy, if that makes sense. But honestly, I love all things automotive, motorcycles, cars, Jeeps, trucks. Like I love it all. But kind of want to shift back, getting back into a car, something that a more performance-based vehicle, something that I would enjoy. But yeah, this is a lot quieter. It's surprisingly, even with this being the Hemi, I'm getting a lot better fuel economy. Right now I'm getting like 20, 21, and that's with me, you know, doing mixed driving, you know, and I'm like still like getting on it here and there. But to me, that's so much better, and the performance that you're getting with this versus that is like night and day. And it's just like, if I'm getting this much more performance, and with a much bigger engine and a better sound, you know what I mean? It kind of just, it didn't make sense really to keep the Jeep. Overall, this is a vehicle I feel like I can really dive into doing more modifications to this. I feel like I can do more modifications to this. It's a different platform, something completely different, and I think it would be really interesting to bring this type of stuff to the channel. You know, I know a lot of people, they kind of watch me because I did Jeep content, but I said before, I still plan on buying another Jeep. I want to buy like a XJ or maybe a TJ or YJ. I don't know. I want to buy another Jeep. I do want to do that. I do want to do like dedicated off-roading stuff. But that'll probably be maybe summer time-ish if I do that. Yeah, I just want to wait a little bit. But then I definitely do want to buy another Jeep for the channel and buy a project car for the channel. But I think for right now, this is my daily driver. This is something I'm really going to enjoy, have fun with, and do a ton of stuff too. Yeah, with that in mind, that's kind of the major reason why I sold the Jeep Wrangler and I moved towards this Dodge Challenger RT. But yeah, guys, so let me know in the comment section below. Do you guys agree with me? Do you guys disagree with me? What are you guys' thoughts? Just let me know in the comment section below. What do you guys think about me selling the Jeep and buying this? Does this make more sense now? Guys, stay tuned to the channel. I have a lot more stuff coming up for this Challenger, and let me know about the Jeep Compass. If you guys want me to do videos on that, I can start doing a ton of more videos on that Jeep. Just let me know. But without further ado, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you like this video, give it a like. Check out some of the other videos that I've done. I've done a ton of videos on my Dodge Challenger, on my Jeep Wrangler I did before in the past, and before that, my Camaro RS. So if you're interested in any of that type of stuff, check out the channel, look at the playlist on my channel. You'll see all the stuff, all the content there. And Happy New Year's, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.